Hello everyone, welcome to this Unreal Engine 4 tutorial. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be showing you how you can manipulate the scaling of both standard brushes and static meshes to get the look you're going for in your render. So texture scaling as a whole is done by manipulating the UV channels of a material. The variables U and V refer to the axes of a 2D texture, much like X and Y refer to our 3D space. Manipulating V allow us to redefine how texture maps get rendered in 3D geometry, and they're the two values that are going to allow this magic to happen. So first, we're going to start off with the easy example, just a standard box geometry brush. Let's get that placed in there, and let's throw up a material to start with. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using the brick clay bevel that's included with the starter content for Unreal. You're welcome to use whatever one you would like to scale. So brushes are by far the easiest because the Unreal interface presents the user with surface properties to alter. So under the details panel, there's going to be a subcategory called surface properties, and then further, a subcategory called scale. And here sit the U and V that I was just referencing. So these are going to allow you to scale quite simply on both dimensions. So make this 3, it's going to stretch that out. And so for that reason, I actually recommend clicking this lock button, and this is going to keep them relative to each other. Perfect. So for brushes, not bad. Just go down to the details, the surface properties, scale. I recommend clicking keep them relative, but it's pretty straightforward. Now, the harder part is the static mesh. I'm going to be using the starter content floor, which is also given to us by Unreal. Let's throw the bricks on there. So what actually led me to this tutorial in the first place was that these are kind of small. I believe the default third-person character is about a third or a fourth of this entire tile, and those don't really fit. So we got to edit it. Rather than editing the static mesh itself, we're going to go inside the material. Now, depending on what tutorial you'd like to use, you're going to see a huge different array of nodes on the back end. You see a huge web, don't be alarmed. We're just here to add some scalars and just relatively change some values. So look around for the text chord, should be a red node. And this essentially is the interface that we saw with the brush, just a little hidden. As you can see over here on the left, under the material expression texture coordinate, you get a U tiling and V tiling option. That's not really user friendly. It's kind of hidden, and this is also editing the source material, which we don't want to do. So as you can see, it edited that, but we don't want to do that. Instead, we're going to add one scalar parameter that's going to give us a nice little interface later for instances of this material that we're going to create. So let's call this scalar and set the default value to 1, to replicate the 100 default percent. Then we're going to add 2 multiply nodes, and these are going to intercept the lines that are connecting text chord to their respective nodes. So let's make that interception explicit. Great. And for the other multiplying value, we're going to add that scalar. So what this is doing, unpretty as it may be, is taking this scaling, multiplying it by our own little custom value, that an interface that we're going to use later, and spitting it back out to all the stuff that uses that scale. So right now we have the default value to 1. If we put it to 0.4, we'll give it a second, and it uniformly scaled. So that's what we want. So set it back to 1. We don't want to mess up the default material. Save. Give it a second. Great. And then, because we want to leave the original material alone, we don't want to mess with what Unreal so gladly provided us. We're going to make a new instance. And for this one, I'm going to call it Big Bricks. Make as many instances as you like. They're yours and you're free to edit them. So double click on that, and here you're going to see the nice little scalar box, so the parameter that we made earlier. And this is where the magic happens. So this window actually has a great speed for the preview, so you're welcome to adjust these values to see how it will scale your texture. For this, I'm going to put it at 4. And that's still using the old one. Let's throw up these. That just looks like concrete, but they're actually just a lot of small bricks. So what I'm going to do is make another one and make this below 1. Let's do 0.2. That looks interesting. Awesome, that's what I want. So now you can see those bricks explicitly and clearly, and that's how you scale a static mesh. You can use this any material. I'm just using the ones that Unreal provided. So brushes are easy. UV scales, these you have to mess with some blueprints, but it's not too bad. Just make sure you make new instances so you don't mess with the original material. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful.